Hello and welcome to the Second Life Sailing group of videos that I said I'd do for you. There's going to be a few videos because there's lots of different kinds of sailboats in Second Life that all have very different experiences. So I'm going to try and give you a taste of them all and what it's like to go sailing in Second Life. We have everything from motorboats, sailboats, yachts, little tiny racing things, dinghies. You know, basically if it can go on the water, it's here in Second Life. And I'm going to try and show you them all. Well, at least the ones that I own, and go from there. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. This first one's going to be a nice mellow one because these speedboats are a little less on the seasicky side, so it'll be a nice smooth and level sail. We're going to take you around some of the old routes from here, the Seychelles Isles, where we are now, in the north of Second Life's mainland area, if you like, landmass. And we're going to take you down to a small island where we'll stop, and then we'll start a new video there, change the boat style, probably to a catamaran, and then we'll take you down to Decks, which is a popular yacht club here in Second Life, and then down to the Blake Sea. Obviously, I'll try and show you as many places in SL as I can over the time. I don't favouritize anywhere, you know, I don't want anyone getting upset. If you'd like me to do a video of your place, then do feel free to drop me a comment and I'll make sure that we can visit your place. I'm absolutely happy doing that. I just want people to see what's in Second Life so they get the full, unbiased opinion of just go and visit places, have a good time. That's what it's all about, really. So anyway, today I am accompanied by two lovely ladies who I will now camera over to with a bit of zoom action. We've got the lovely Bexy on the left and we've got Olgy on the right. And they're going to be helping me with the video and being my navigators for the day. So we'll follow them as they sail us around the place. So you can also see that you can take your friends with you when you go sailing. And just have a good time generally. There you go. Olgy's in Belarus, of course, and we're in the UK. So it's a fully international affair today. So first of all, this is the Bosscraft boat, which happens to be a speedboat based on a V8 from the 50s, I believe. Very nice sounds, very nice to ride. It's got a fuel system, so there's a bit of realism in this, in the fact that if we don't put fuel in it, it'll run out and we won't be able to go anywhere. So the first thing we have to do is we have to put fuel in it, because if we don't, it won't work. Of course, do try to type the word fuel correctly without strange dashes, which is just typically realistic of what happens to me on a daily basis. I am the typo king. So in goes the gasoline, which tops up the tank. Because I must admit, when I first got this boat, I didn't know about the fuel system. And about 4 seconds after I took off somewhere, I just stopped in the middle of loads of people and the face reached the palm. So it wasn't great times. Now, for this sailing experience, I'm going to be jumping around, but I tend to do the first-person camera, which here in SL is known as mouse lock. So we'll go into that now. We'll start the engines. There we go. Lovely V8 sound you get there. Hopefully you can just about hear that on the video. The volume is quite low for me here, but we don't want it too loud because once we get the engine going, it can get a bit noisy. Okay, so we're going to wait for the ladies to pull off, and then we're going to follow them. Then we're going to go off to the left, so I'm just going to look over to them. There they go, look. See, move your mouse about in this view, and you can have a look around. There they are, there, look, disappearing. So we're going to up arrow to go up the gears, down arrow to go down the gears, and left and right arrows to steer. Pretty simple. Now, in Second Life, we have a thing called draw distance, which is, as it suggests, the distance it will draw things at. For sailing, you want to really be able to see into the distance because you don't want to crash into a giant boat that suddenly appears in front of you at the last minute. So I tend to use 512 as a draw distance. That's in Second Life meters. And you get quite, as you can see, a nice view of all of the landmarks around you without the lag being so bad that your graphics card can't cope. Of course, my graphics card is about 7 years old, so if you've got a fairly modern computer, you'll not have any trouble at all. This is a GTX 290 or something similar? Yes, exactly. So as you can tell, it's not a modern graphics card, so I can't really ram it right up to Ultra and go crazy with it. But if you've got a better graphics card, you will be able to Ultra it up big time and probably get a much better experience than me. Now, as you can see, on the bottom right, I have a radar. That's the mini-map. That lets me see the girls in front, which is a yellow dot, but also I can see green dots when other people are coming so that I'm able to avoid any crashes or anything else and steer around them. It also shows me if the sims are working. So if you notice that there's a grid of squares, and as those squares sort of change to a lighter colour, so you can see some of them are like dark blue and then suddenly they go light, that's them loading. That lets me know they've loaded. If they go red, of course, that means they're not loaded, and we need to be very careful. If the sim's broken or there's some of the kind of VPN issue between sims, if I hit that while there's no network connection, I'm going to get turfed out into nowhere, and it's not going to be happy days. Very important when you go sailing or flying that you keep an eye on the sims, because let's face it, this is a grid of simulators. They do go wrong, and sometimes they do need restarting. And if it's been a particularly busy day, then, it can get a bit tragic, and you can just have all sorts of craziness. Your boat goes flying in the sky, your head ends up your own bottom. There's all manner of things that can happen. It can get a little bit nasty. But in the whole, these days, Linden Labs have got their act together, and Second Life, as a platform, is fairly stable these days. So now we're taking a left turn here at the lighthouse, and we're going to head down to the south now. Of course, the beauty of these speedboats is they're not wind dependent. They'll go wherever you point them. And of course, try not to crash into debris. They have buoys and things here to help guide you down the panel, so you don't, get off the edge of a sim or something, which is quite nice. There's no real maritime rules here. But, the general rule of thumb is if someone's coming towards you, go to the right, and they should do the same, and then you won't crash into each other. If you're in a big open area, though, you can just avoid them. Big rule, if you're in a speedboat or any kind of motorised boat, you've got to give way to the sailboats, because the sailboats aren't able to manoeuvre like you are, because they are literally working off a wind direction and whatever. So if you see a sailboat, just go around. I tend to just aim for the back of it, go around the back of it, you're happy days, no one gets hurt, and it's just nice and polite, really. So as we're coming down, we start to slow down the boat a little bit, because we're going to take a left-hand turn now. As you can see on the map there, we're running out of sims here. Turn left. We're heading to a place called Rollo. This route that we're going on at the moment is a traditional route in Second Life. It's been here the longest to get to this part of the mainland. We were going to take you down the new route, but unfortunately there's a problem with one of the simulators, just to show you that it really does happen, and we couldn't go that way because it wouldn't let us through. So we've come this way, which is quite nice, because as I say, this is the traditional way. This is like the old road, if you like, that the Lindens put in ages ago to do this particular jaunt. These days you can go through the Seychelles Isles and do the jaunt, but as I say, one of the sims isn't working today, so we'll do that perhaps on another video. This is Rollo now that we're about to enter. In we go. Don't panic whenever you cross a sim in Second Life. You can get a little bit of a 1 second freak out, is the best way to put it. The boat might start flying, it might go under the water. Same with aeroplanes, they might suddenly start going out of control. Key, don't panic. Keep your hand away from the keyboard. Just don't touch anything. When you see the sim crossing coming, just don't touch anything until you know it's gone across. And you'll know it's gone across because you get a weird little jump and then it goes back to normal. If you're watching the screen, you'll see there that as we cross the sims, we get a little bit of a glitch. Unavoidable just due to the technology, but some of them do cross really smooth, and you can hardly notice, but only the ones with high CPUs in them. A lot of them are old processors, and they're a bit slow, and so they don't. Here we go, we're going to cross one now. Watch, so see? That little bit of a glotch there, that was it. So keep an eye out for those. They help you to gauge your crossings. It's a bit of a skill at first. You will crash a few times, but you'll get used to it. Now, here's a weird thing. Never really understood what these are, but some modern art in Second Life, these curly-whirly things in the water. They've been here for years. They've been here for as long as I've been in Second Life, and that's about 7 years now. As you can see, little curly-whirly things. No idea what their purpose is, but they're there, and they're quite pretty. Now, there's a pretty castle. Again, don't know if it has a name, but it's a good landmark that we always use. The pretty castle, see? And on the right-hand side is the mainland here, where there's clubs and pubs and shops and various manner of other things. There's plenty of scenery to see in Second Life. That's the beautiful thing. The scenery changes all the time. The virtual realm, people come and go. You know, some people come, they get interested, then they get a new game come out, and then they get bored, and then they go away. So the landscape's constantly changing, and that's not a bad thing, because you just get variety. Every time I go for a sail, each week. I don't know what I'm going to see next. I'll come along, there might be some absolutely amazing thing that someone's made, and then sadly they'll move on, and then somebody else will come along. But then they'll have some ultimately amazing thing that was different to the other thing, and it's just great. It's a great thing. Second Life as a platform is completely user created. Everything you see around us, the boat, the buildings, everything is created by the users here. You log in, you've got all the tools you need. Some people for Mesh, which is the current graphic type, use a thing called Blender, which some of you may have heard of. And Blender obviously isn't part of Second Life, but it's free, so you can download it. And so you can use that to create mesh objects, which you then import into Second Life. I think you pay a small amount of lindens to upload them, and that's it. You've got your stuff. You can design proper 3D stuff in here. But for the majority of it, you can generate most of your stuff here. Now, you'll notice in front of us there are a load of racing boats, which is why we're suddenly getting together like wildering buffalo or whatever, and getting tight together to avoid them. See, because see them there, they're all racing, so there's obviously a boat race going on, and we don't want to get in their way, so we just come over here to the left to let them pass. There we go. We should be safe just to carry on now. Now, we're going to be stopping soon down here. We're not there yet. I believe it's this little island we can see here on the left. So that was your first little video, just to give you a little run. Quite a pleasant little jaunt, that, don't you think? This was a speedboat, of course. So easy starting boat. If you want to start off and just want to get out there and have a sail about and explore, then get yourself a little speedboat. There are a lot of free boats, got to say it, for beginners. Don't panic. I mean, I bought this boat. I've got money. But you don't have money when you first come here. And if you go somewhere like where we're going to take you next, which is Dex, just as an example, because Dex is a popular one, they give free boats there. So you can get yourself a free boat and get yourself going. So don't panic. You can start off with a free boat. Once you get a feel for it, and if you like it, then you get a bit of linden dollar. Or if you buy a full account from them, which gives you 300 lindens every week for about £50 a year, then you'll get money and you can go out and buy a boat. So it's all good times, but you're getting a bit of a taster without even having to pay for anything. There you go. Now we're going to park up here, and then we're going to end this particular video. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Not too much waffle from me. Well, I think you only watch me for the waffle, really, but there you go. We'll stop her here. Ahoy, me hearties. Right. Thank you for watching. We'll go into the next video, and we'll take off from here, and we'll head south. And this time, I think we're going to go on the catamarans. Is that right? Yes, we are. So see you in a minute.